Dakota City. It's a city basically at war with itself. On one side, you've got this godlike hero, Icon, and on the other, the feared and misunderstood Bang Babies. The gap between them feels, well, impossible to cross. But there's one hero who isn't just fighting villains, he's building a bridge. Today, we're diving into how static becomes that crucial sociological link.
So to really get the problem, you have to understand we're talking about a tale of two extremes. We have Icon, who's literally an alien powerhouse, a symbol of elite, kind of distant heroism. And then you have the Bang Babies, traumatized survivors of this huge chemical disaster, left feared, pushed to the margins, and totally impoverished. This isn't just a power gap, it's a deep social and economic canyon that's threatening to rip the city in two.
This creates a massive disconnect. The city's most powerful protector is completely removed from the real lived experience of its most vulnerable superpowered citizens. So the real question becomes, who on Earth can possibly connect these two completely different worlds?
Well, the answer is Virgil Hawkins, aka Static. And to really get his impact, we're going to break it down into 5 key parts. His shared origin with the Bang Babies, his unique middle-class viewpoint, his street-smart leadership, his just plain relatable personality, and finally, how he pulls it all together in this amazing heroism of synthesis.
Okay, first up, let's look at the foundation of it all, his origin story. His power to connect with people really comes from a shared trauma, and that gives him a kind of credibility that nobody else in Dakota City has.
Check out the fundamental difference here. Icon is an outsider, a noble alien from another world. But Virgil? Virgil was just a regular teenager who got caught in the crossfire of the Big Bang. He was right there on Paris Island going through the exact same trauma as the city's so-called villains. That shared street-level experience gives him a credibility that Icon simply can't touch.
This quote just perfectly captures what he does. Because he's literally walked in their shoes but made a conscious choice to take a different path, service over revenge, he can act as a translator. He gets the anger of the disenfranchised kids, but he also strives for the moral code of the elite heroes. He speaks both languages, and that makes him absolutely indispensable.
So, next up, it's not just his origin, it's his socioeconomic standing that makes him such an effective bridge. He occupies that vital middle ground, right between the city's extremes of wealth and poverty. You can kind of see it laid out here. At one end of the spectrum, you've got Icon's massive wealth. At the other, the absolute crushing poverty that so many Bang Babies live in. And right there in the middle, that's where you find Virgil. His stable, middle-class background gives him this unique perspective. He can understand economic despair while also seeing the value of community stability.
That stable family life gives him a moral compass that a lot of others just don't have. So he doesn't see his powers as a weapon for class warfare or some tool to get rich. Instead, he uses them to protect his community. He's basically offering a relatable roadmap to getting back on your feet for others who feel trapped and hopeless.
And this brings us right to our third point, his leadership style. This is where he really separates himself from a hero like Icon, proving that a genuine connection can be way more powerful than just intimidation.
Their communication styles could not be more different. Icon speaks in the formal language of law and ancient principles. He commands respect. But Static, he connects with his peers through the language of pop culture, science, and the streets. This lets him actually mentor other Bang Babies in a way that the distant, kind of stiff Icon never, ever could.
And his style works because it's authentic. He genuinely understands the daily pressures they're all facing, the pull of a gang, the sting of being profiled by police, that hopelessness that comes from poverty. He doesn't judge from some high horse. He engages as a peer, which allows him to de-escalate conflicts through empathy, not just by force.
All right, our fourth point really gets to the heart of his personality. It's Virgil's humanity. His sharp intellect and his awesome sense of humor that makes him so much more accessible than some distant, godlike figure.
So Virgil is a brilliant student, a science geek, and he brings that curiosity to his powers. While Icon is up there pondering the grand philosophical implications of power, Static is focused on the practical realities. He wants to understand the science behind the mutations, which lets him see other Bang Babies not as monsters, but as people with complex medical and psychological needs.
And that's the real difference, isn't it? Icon is a figure of awe, somebody to be respected from way over there. But Static? He's the hero the neighborhood kids can talk to about comic books. He's the hero you can actually high-five. That accessibility breaks down the barrier between super and human, and it makes the whole idea of heroism feel achievable for everyone else in Dakota.
Okay, so let's bring this all together with our final point. Static isn't just one thing or the other. He represents the heroism of synthesis, creating a totally new and necessary model for what a modern hero can be.
Think of it like a recipe. You start with that raw lived experience of the Bang Babies, that street-level truth. Then you add the principled responsibility of a hero like Icon. And then you ground it all in a relatable, human perspective. That synthesis is Static. He takes that noble protector archetype and plants it right in the middle of the vibrant, chaotic reality of modern city life.
By refusing to abandon his peers or his principles, he becomes something incredibly powerful. He is, and I quote, the living proof that the tragedy of the Big Bang can be transformed into a source of community strength. A great tragedy doesn't have to be the end of the story.
Without Virgil Hawkins, that bridge between Icon's high ideals and the street's harsh realities would probably just stay broken, and the city right along with it. And it leaves us with a really powerful question. In a world full of so many divides, can one person's empathy truly be enough to start healing a city's deepest wounds?